Color Perfecting Primer. That's this little guy here. This is just the sample size that came when I purchased the foundation. But of course I'm going to use it underneath. It's this kind of jelly consistency. And a little bit on the forehead. Okay, now onto my Tarte foundation. It is called the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. It has an SPF of 15 and the color is light medium sand. That's my color. That's what I'm going to use today. It's a little bit slightly yellow for me, but it still matches well once I have all my makeup on, so that will be fine. Put it on my hand. And this is the consistency of it. It's a really thick, kind of foamy, almost consistency. I don't know, it reminds me of like one of those mousse foundations as far as the texture goes. So you just put some on the face. And I'm using a Real Techniques sponge to apply this. I have applied this with a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I've also done it with my fingers, and I found the best way to apply this foundation is with a damp sponge. It just feels more lightweight on your skin. It's already pretty lightweight, that thick consistency. Once it's on your skin, it just doesn't feel thick, but I just like the way it feels with the damp sponge. It feels completely weightless to me. So you can use your beauty blender, or this Real Techniques sponge is awesome. It is a much better price point and it is very, very comparable. Okay, so that's basically what one layer looks like. As you can see, it has pretty good coverage. It's I would say it's about a medium to full coverage, the foundation. I do want to give a little bit more cover up on areas, on problem areas. I do have some breakout. Just put a little bit more on my cheeks. I get red sometimes there. I'm just doing little dots. I'm not doing a whole lot more coverage because it has pretty good coverage already. And lastly, I'm going to do it around the nostrils because I really get red there throughout the day. It's just a hormonal thing. Most women do. So let me get some good coverage there. Alright, so there's the coverage of the foundation. I'm going to apply some concealer. Unfortunately, I don't have a Tarte concealer, so I'm going to use the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer. The number is number 2. And I'm just going to apply it in a typical kind of triangle shape under my eye. And then use my sponge to blend it out. So I'm going to start with my under eyes. I'm going to use the setting brush from Real Techniques. By the way, I'm using Clinique setting powder. Thought I had a Tarte one and I don't. This one is just in Invisible Blend. I'm going to set my under eyes. And anywhere where I kind of put extra product, I'm going to use this because it's a little bit more detailed than a big powder brush. And then I'm going to use the Real Techniques powder brush to apply it over the rest of my face. As you can see, I'm just pressing the powder in here very lightly. I'm not using a whole lot of powder, and I'm not using a sweeping motion either because that's going to affect the coverage of of the foundation I put down, which I do not want to do. I just want to set it. So there you have it. And then I'll brush along here just to kind of blend the foundation line onto my neck. As far as the blush and bronzer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Off the Cuff set. I'm going to use this bronzer, and I'm going to use this blush here. We have Dazzled and Park Avenue Princess. Let me start with the bronzer, and I'm just going to dust it underneath my cheekbone. I really have been enjoying these Amazonian clay blushes and this bronzer. I really like them. They're very pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way with these. They're kind of great. I love them. They're my favorite. I think I've been using these exclusively for a long time. I'm also going to put some bronzer on the kind of above the temple area to give some definition to my face. And brush it along the forehead. I'm messing up my hair. Okay, brush it along the forehead. And just a little bit on the jawline. Not too much. And let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, good. So as you can see, that just adds definition to my face. And next I'm going to use the Soft Rose blush called Dazzled and just dust that on my cheeks. Alrighty, so there you have it. There's my foundation routine with the Tarte foundation. I will be right back. I'm just gonna put on some lipstick and I'll be right back with you. Anyways, I am going to check back in with you guys at lunch. I do have to run off to work. It's about 9 in the morning right now, so I'll come back and check in at probably around noon to 1 o'clock to see how my foundation's faring throughout the day. Let me actually zoom you in. Okay, so this is it kind of up close. You get to see the coverage and what it looks like. Looks pretty good. I can tell you that it is very lightweight on my face. Like I said earlier, it feels like I'm wearing nothing. So the texture and the way it feels on my skin is great. So we'll just see how it fares and I'll be back. Hey, I'm back and it is about 10 minutes to 1 and I have been wearing this foundation since about 8:30. And looking in the mirror and in the viewfinder, actually, I think it looks pretty good. I've gotten a little bit shiny in the forehead. Keep in mind I'm not touching up at all because I like to see how it wears from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So I'm a little bit shiny, which is pretty typical for me. I get oily in the T-zone very easily. Otherwise, the rest of my T-zone looks good, and I don't know, I don't feel like it's moved. If you can see it, it looks pretty good. My blush is still pretty much intact. The coverage on like my trouble areas still look great. So there is my check-in, again about 1 o'clock, so I've been wearing it for 4 hours, and I'll check in later in the afternoon and we'll see how well it does for the rest of the day. Okay, so this is my final check-in and it is about 6 o'clock here, almost 6 o'clock, and as you can see, the foundation has stayed put pretty well. I don't know if you can see it, but it's breaking down kind of in around the nostril area and around the forehead, as well as shiny, and it's kind of breaking down and getting a little bit blotchy. But I have very oily skin, so that totally makes sense to me because I haven't touched up and I didn't set it with a setting spray. I think if I do set it with a spray and maybe touch up my forehead area throughout the day, then it will last a pretty long time. I mean, I was wearing it since probably like 8:30 in the morning and it's almost 6 now, so I think the wear is pretty great on this foundation actually. So that's always nice. I really enjoy this Tarte foundation. Again, it is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. I've applied it with a brush, I've applied it with my fingers, and I did also apply it with a damp sponge. I think that the best application is going to be applying it with a damp sponge. I like that the best as far as just blending right into your skin. So I did want to mention to you guys that I'm doing a series on Tarte Cosmetics, so if I have any videos posted, I will link them down below in the description bar. Otherwise, please subscribe so you can come check out those videos when I do post them. I'm new here on YouTube and would love the support. I've been a makeup artist for 10 years now, and I am just having so much fun doing the YouTube thing, even though I'm just getting started. So please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!